Hey, everybody. Are you ready to dive into some AI with me? Today, we're going to take a deep dive into OpenAI's latest release,
Oh, yeah.
GPT 4.5.
I've been looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it's their newest version of their language model. And honestly, there's a lot to talk about.
There really is it's so fascinating to see how OpenAI is approaching this whole thing.
Yeah.
They're kind of walking this tightrope,
Yeah,
developing these like hyper specialized models,
right.
like we saw with that recent O series.
Mm.
But they're also still refining like their classic GPT line.
Right, exactly. And, we all know OpenAI, right? Those are the folks behind ChatGPT.
Oh, for
And
sure.
some of the biggest breakthroughs in these language models.
Absolutely.
So whenever they drop a new GPT model, people
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
And this time around, they're telling us that GPT 4.5 is all about making AI more conversational,
Okay.
almost like you're just chatting with a friend.
Interesting.
But at the same time, they're also doubling down on this strategy of just making these models bigger and
Right.
better. And I think some experts are kind of scratching their heads, wondering if that's really the best way to go.
That's right. And GPT-4, it was already estimated to have like 1.8 trillion parameters,
Oh, wow.
which is just mind-boggling.
Mm.
And now, GPT 4.5, they're hinting that it's even larger.
Really?
Yeah, they're continuing this whole bigger is better trend,
Wow.
like adding more and more ingredients to a recipe, hoping it'll just make it tastier.
I'm getting hungry, but yeah.
Okay, but maybe at some point you hit like a limit
Right.
where more isn't really better.
Yeah. Okay. I see your point.
Yeah.
So how does this bigger is better approach actually play out in GPT 4.5?
Right.
Is it really something that's noticeable?
Well, OpenAI says that all this scaling, allows the model to grasp all those subtle nuances of human conversation.
Oh, interesting.
Those like tiny cues we give each other without even realizing it.
Yeah. So it's not just understanding the words, but also our tone
Yeah.
and our intent, almost like reading between the lines.
That's exactly it. They think all those extra trillions of parameters
Oh,
allow GPT 4.5 to do just that.
okay.
It's all about pattern recognition, but like on this massive scale,
Yeah.
leading to more natural and intuitive interactions.
Yeah.
Imagine having an AI that can understand your mood
Wow.
and
Yeah.
respond accordingly.
Yeah.
That's what they're going for.
Okay. That is pretty impressive.
Right.
So if it's all about understanding us better, how well does it actually perform?
Right.
Does it live up to all the hype?
Well, let's look at the test results.
Okay.
In some areas, it's a clear winner.
Yeah.
Like GPT 4.5 aced the simple QA test,
Okay.
which measures general knowledge.
Okay.
It scored over 62% accuracy.
Wow.
That's a huge jump from GPT-4's score, which was only 38%.
So in terms of just general knowledge, it sounds like it's getting a lot smarter.
Right.
But you said that the results were mixed.
Yeah.
So what about other areas?
Well, on the MMLU test, the one that evaluates a model's understanding across different subjects,
Hmm.
it only showed like minimal improvement.
Okay.
And in science and math, it actually fell behind OpenAI's specialized, O3 model.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so while GPT 4.5 is really good at like general knowledge and conversational tasks,
Right.
it's not necessarily like this universal genius
Yeah.
across all subjects.
Interesting. So it's crushing some tests, but not all of them.
Right.
So what does that tell us about its strengths and maybe its limitations?
I think it shows that its real strength is in its conversational abilities,
Okay.
in understanding and responding in a way that feels more natural and human-like,
Okay.
But when it comes to like specialized knowledge and hardcore reasoning, it might not be the best tool for the job.
So maybe it's more of a specialized conversationalist than a jack of all trades.
Exactly. It excels at understanding what you mean, even if you're not being super explicit about it.
Okay.
It's like having a conversation with someone who can finish your sentences,
Okay.
but maybe isn't a math whiz.
Right. Right. I got it.
And, OpenAI researchers have used words like warm and intuitive and natural to describe how it interacts.
That's pretty remarkable.
It is.
But let's get into some of the details.
Sure.
How does GPT 4.5 achieve this warmth and intuition? What's going on under the hood?
Well, a lot of it has to do with how they've designed the model to handle user intent.
Okay.
Nick Ryder, one of the researchers at OpenAI,
Mm-hmm.
said that it has like a stronger understanding of what users mean,
Okay.
which leads to more nuanced and thoughtful responses.
Okay.
It's all about picking up on those subtle cues that make a conversation flow naturally.
So it's learned to read between the lines just like a human would.
That's the idea.
Wow.
They're basically training these models to understand not just the words themselves, but like the context, the
All
tone,
right.
the intent behind them.
Okay. This is getting really interesting, but let me play devil's advocate for a second.
Okay, go ahead,
Yeah.
challenge me.
Okay, so they're making these models bigger and bigger,
Mm-hmm.
but is it really worth it?
Right.
I mean, some experts are saying that these like incremental improvements
Yeah.
aren't really worth the massive computing power that's required.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
That's a really great point. And it's like a huge debate in the AI community right now.
Yeah.
Wasim Al-Sheikh, the CTO of a writer, actually called GPT 4.5 a shiny new coat of paint on the same old car.
Oh, wow.
His argument is that for most users,
Yeah.
the difference in everyday use might not even be that noticeable.
Right.
And the energy costs of running these massive models could actually outweigh the benefits.
So there are some valid concerns
Definitely.
about whether this bigger is better strategy is sustainable in the long run.
For sure, it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
On the one hand, these massive models, they do seem to be pushing the boundaries of what's possible in AI.
Right.
But then on the other hand, we have to consider, the environmental and economic costs of actually building and running these things.
Right. So what's the takeaway for our listeners here?
Right.
Should we be excited about GPT 4.5 or should we be a little cautious?
I think both are valid reactions. It's definitely an exciting development, especially if you're interested in the future of conversational AI.
Right.
But it's also important to be aware of the potential downsides,
Yeah.
like the energy costs
Yeah.
and the fact that these models aren't perfect
Right.
by any means.
Okay. I think that's a great place to pause and reflect.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
Yeah.
We've talked about the potential of GPT 4.5 to really revolutionize conversational AI, but we've also acknowledged some of the challenges that come with it.
Right.
So stay tuned for part 2, where we'll explore the future of GPT
Right.
and what OpenAI might have up their sleeve with GPT-5.
Sounds good.
Welcome back, everybody. It's amazing to think about how fast AI is evolving,
Right.
It seems like every few months there's like a new breakthrough that just pushes the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
It really is an exciting time to be following this field.
Totally.
OpenAI's approach of just constantly iterating and pushing the limits with these language models.
Yeah.
It's really shaking things up.
For sure. And, beyond that whole bigger is better debate,
Right.
what really caught my attention was how they're emphasizing GPT 4.5's ability to have these more natural flowing conversations.
Absolutely. They're using words like warmth and intuitiveness,
Yeah. Yeah.
qualities that we usually associate with human interactions.
Right.
Not machines.
Yeah. It's like they're trying to blur the lines
Exactly.
between how we communicate with each other
Right.
and how we interact with AI.
That's a great way to put it.
So for our listener out there, you can think of it this way. Imagine having an AI that not only understands what you're saying, but also how you're saying it.
Yeah.
It's like having a conversation with someone who gets your humor, picks up on your tone, and responds in a way that just feels genuine and engaging.
Totally. And it's not just about spitting out the right answer. It's
Yeah.
about making the whole experience feel more human and personalized.
And that's where GPT 4.5's improved ability to understand user intent comes in.
Absolutely.
It's not just about processing the words, but really understanding the meaning behind them.
Exactly. And remember what Nick Ryder said.
Yeah.
It's about picking up on those subtle cues
Yeah.
and understanding what the user really means,
You're right.
even if they don't say it directly.
It's like having an AI assistant
Yeah.
who can anticipate your needs and respond in a way that feels tailored to you.
Totally. Like if you're feeling stressed,
Yeah.
it might pick up on that and respond in a more calming, supportive way.
Yeah, or if you're excited about something,
Exactly.
it might mirror that excitement back to you.
Precisely. It's about taking all those subtle cues,
Right.
your tone of voice,
Yeah.
the context of the conversation,
Yeah.
even your previous interactions, and using them to craft a response that is both accurate and emotionally intelligent.
That's pretty amazing when you think about it.
Yeah,
It
no.
is. It's like we're on the verge of having AI that can understand us on a deeper level.
Yeah.
Not just intellectually,
Right.
but emotionally as well.
And as we discussed earlier, OpenAI is betting that scaling up these models is the key to achieving that level of understanding.
But of course, as we also discussed, there are those who question whether this bigger is better approach is truly sustainable, in the long term.
Right. Yeah, the concerns about computational costs and the environmental impact of training these massive models are definitely valid.
Yeah.
It's this balancing act between pushing the boundaries of AI
Yeah.
and being mindful of the resources required.
It's a bit like exploring uncharted territory, you know?
Yeah.
We're excited about the possibilities,
Yeah.
but also aware of the potential risks and challenges along the way.
For sure.
We need to proceed with both enthusiasm and caution.
I think that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And speaking of exploring new territory, let's talk about the future of GPT.
Okay.
We know that OpenAI has already hinted at some mind-blowing possibilities with GPT-5, their next iteration.
Yeah, I'm all ears.
Okay, so the buzz is that GPT-5 could be a hybrid model,
No.
combining the conversational fluency of GPT with the raw reasoning power of their specialized models.
So instead of just having an AI that can, like, chat with you,
Right.
you'd have one that can chat, reason, problem solve, and maybe even come up with creative solutions that we humans might never have thought of.
Exactly. It's like taking the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Merging the art of conversation with the science of logic.
It's almost hard to wrap your head around what that would even look like.
I know, right?
Imagine the possibilities of research, education, even art and entertainment.
Right.
An AI that can not only understand and respond to you,
Yeah.
but also contribute original ideas and insights.
It's truly mind-boggling. You know, it feels like we're on the cusp of a new era where the line between human intelligence and artificial intelligence starts to become increasingly blurred.
It all sounds very sci-fi,
It does.
but in a way that makes you excited about the future.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But even with all this excitement,
Yeah.
it's crucial to remember that there's still a lot of work to be done,
Right.
both on a technical level and, importantly, on an ethical level.
That's such a crucial point. As AI becomes more sophisticated,
Right.
we need to make sure that it's developed responsibly
Yeah.
and used for the benefit of humanity, not to its detriment.
Absolutely. And that's something we need to consider not just as developers and researchers, but as a society.
Right.
You know, we need to have these open and honest conversations
Yes.
about the potential impact of AI on our lives,
Yeah.
our jobs, our relationships,
Yeah.
even our understanding of what it means to be human.
I think you've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
As AI continues to evolve, so too must our understanding of its implications.
Right.
We need to approach it with a sense of wonder and curiosity,
Yeah.
but also with a healthy dose of critical thinking
For sure.
and ethical awareness.
Well said. It's not just about building amazing technology.
Yeah.
It's about building a future where that technology serves humanity in a positive and meaningful way.
This has been a truly thought-provoking conversation.
It has.
We've covered a lot of ground, from the technical details of GPT 4.5 to the broader implications of AI development, but there's still more to explore.
Right.
Join us in part 3 as we continue to delve into the fascinating world of GPT and its potential to really reshape the future. All right, so welcome back to our deep dive into GPT 4.5. We've talked about, its capabilities, but also this debate about, is bigger always better in AI? But now I think we should kind of shift gears and think about where this is all heading.
Okay.
OpenAI has already started dropping hints about GPT-5.
They have.
And it sounds like they're aiming for something like truly groundbreaking.
It does seem like they're setting the stage for like a major leap forward.
Yeah.
Remember how we talked about those specialized O models?
Yeah.
The ones that are focused on specific tasks like reasoning?
Right.
Well, the rumors are that GPT-5 might be a hybrid,
Okay.
combining the conversational strengths of the GPT series
Yeah.
with the logical power of those specialized models.
So imagine an AI that can not only hold a captivating conversation, but also solve complex problems, make insightful deductions, and maybe even come up with creative solutions that we humans might never have thought of.
Exactly. It's like merging the intuitive, like free-flowing nature of human thought with the raw analytical power of a supercomputer.
Right.
I mean, the potential applications are just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
From scientific research and medical diagnostics to personalized education and even artistic creation.
It's almost hard to graft the implications of something that powerful. We could be talking about an AI that doesn't just understand and respond to us, but actively collaborates with us, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in every field imaginable.
It's a truly exciting prospect, and it's driving a lot of anticipation and speculation in the AI community.
But as we've discussed throughout this whole deep dive, with great power comes great responsibility.
That's true.
We need to ensure that these advancements are guided by ethical principles
Yeah.
and a deep understanding of their impact on society.
I think that's such a crucial point,
Yeah.
As we venture into this uncharted territory of increasingly powerful AI, we need to do so with a sense of both wonder and caution.
Right.
We need to be asking ourselves, not just like what AI can do, but what it should do,
right,
and how we can make sure that it's used for the benefit of humanity.
I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Yeah, it has been a fascinating exploration.
It really has.
Not just of the technology itself,
yeah,
but the questions it raises about like our future, our relationship with machines, and ultimately what it means to be human in an age of artificial intelligence.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you've gained some valuable insights into the world of AI and maybe even had your mind stretched a little.
Definitely.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and stay tuned for what's sure to be an incredible next chapter
Absolutely.
in the evolution of artificial intelligence.